Readers,
reviewers,
countrymen,
lend us your ears. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreons.
Thank you to the Pit Fighters, the First Swords, and all of the Bright Stars, Truth and Courage.
Hello and welcome to the Brothers Gwyn today. I'm Will. This is my brother Ed. We're talking about the books that have come out in 2024 that we still need to read. Obviously, we've got a bit of an excuse not to have jumped on these because there's so many amazing books coming out, you can't get to them all.
The TBR pile is mounting.
And limiting this...
a mountain.
It is a mountain and it's steep to climb.
Yeah.
Limiting this to just 10 books was pretty difficult. So we've got 6 that we're both wanting to really read soon, and then we've got 2 each, which is kind of separate because we've got a different reading paths. We do have slightly different reading tastes, and some of them are kind of releases into series that the other one hasn't started. And so let's stop yapping on and get into book 1.
For yourself. But
Sorry,
yapping, I agree.
We're starting with book 2 of a series, but we've both read book 1. Yeah. It is The Book That Broke the World by Mark Lawrence. This is the sequel to... I've got it behind me. Where is it?
Oh dear.
Where is it? What?
Is it down?
No way. It should be right there. Well, that's
Someone's
disappointing.
stolen it.
That's
No, I
very
can't see it.
disappointing. My Mark Lawrence collection has been raided. That's not on. Anyway, book 2.
Probably come in here when you've been at uni.
It's not on, is it?
Yeah.
But so this is The Book That Broke the World. Papa Gwyn did an event with Mark Lawrence in Bath recently. Or Bath? Which?
Bath.
Either way. Mm-hmm. And he said that it's just fascinating listening to Mark Lawrence talk about his writing style and it's just really invigorated my desire to carry on with the series, which I can't believe I've left it so long. Usually we're kind of like first month is how we read it, don't we? So we've fallen behind. Let's get back on the train, back on the bandwagon, and power on with the books that broke the world.
Mm-hmm. It's a good title.
It is a great title.
It's a really good title. Thank you.
And then next up, going to some non-fiction, we've got Henry V by Dan Jones. And it says, England's greatest warrior king. Of course, morally, we probably wouldn't agree with any monarch ever. But this isn't about that. There's just something fascinating
in terms of Englishness,
about Henry V.
Henry V achieved a lot, didn't he?
Well, I mean, I think Dan Jones said, like, by the standards of an English king, which was basically attack the French, keep your barons under control.
Yeah.
He did a pretty good job, but he didn't reign for too long. So maybe he would have had a fall if he lived longer. Yeah. But I think that's kind of what's mythologized him, that because he died pretty soon. Was it like, how long was it into his reign? Only a few years, really.
I think he died like 1420s.
So maybe 10 years?
Yeah, maybe even less
maybe
than
10. And so he was kind of in his prime. That's kind of mythologized him because he only had the good parts of his reign, basically.
Yeah. He was 35
This is the awesome Broken Binding Special Edition. And Dan Jones is just a charismatic, engaging, thrilling speaker. I've loved watching all of his interviews. There's not many authors that I will watch basically every single chat they do.
Yeah.
Because, of course, most interviewers, they kind of ask similar questions that they're interested in. And so you kind of get the same answers from authors a few times. But Dan Jones, any chat he does, it just goes in a different direction.
Yeah.
He's got so much knowledge, so much passion, and I cannot wait to dive into his latest work, which many people are absolutely loving. Some non-fiction along the way.
Yeah, Dan is that guy. Henry V is that guy as well. And we love Dan Jones's writing. I mean, we listened to Templars together, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he narrated that himself. And that was a brilliant listen. Like, his prose is, as a non-fiction as well, so easy to digest.
Yeah.
But so, like, full of wit and humour, as well as some really incredible information, and the way that he explores it in front of people is just fantastic. So Henry V is meant to be an incredible read, and I'm really, really excited to get into it. We love the medieval period. We've done medieval reenactment before, and Agincourt was a big day. It was actually St. Christmas Day yesterday.
Oh my word, it was.
Yeah,
and
was you love
25th of October.
You love St. Christmas Day.
There is a St. Christmas Day speech, I believe, on the channel.
There is a St. Christmas
now
Day.
When I look back at it, it's awful.
No, it was great.
Maybe I have to do another one.
I think the filming.
Maybe I have to do a modern one.
Yeah, I'm not being in the next one.
But if you want some more Dan Jones recommendations, check out Michael Kist's channel, and also broader non-fiction recommendations on the whole. At the moment, he's going through kind of the popular non-fiction, popular history, which is kind of gateways into each subgenre of history, basically.
He did an Egyptian Reads video as well, and I'm not watching it because it will kill the bank balance.
Yeah, it can't happen.
But
he's dangerous.
He's dangerous. Michael is dangerous. He's a dangerous guy. But read him.
Also loved his interview with Papa Gwyn.
Yes.
Next up, I've got another one from the both of us, Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff. Book 2 of the Empire of the Vampire trilogy. Book 3, Ed, has been written. It is awesome. It's on the way.
Exciting.
So we need to read Empire of the Damned. Papa Gwyn absolutely adored Empire of the Vampire, as did both of us. You can check out our review on the channel.
Yeah.
Empire of the Damned, most people say, is even better. That
I
even
don't know how that's possible.
I know, because apparently it's very... He takes a big risk in becoming multi-POV. I think there's 2 POVs in this instead of just one, which usually when an author kind of changes their style so abruptly, it can be quite jarring, but it's paid off. It just shows when you're a confident writer, if you believe something's going to actually enhance the story, go with it, because it can pay off.
And the 2 main reviews on the back are Joe Abercrombie and Robin Hobb.
What
a mix.
That speaks volumes.
Well. And I saw that Ollie Sykes from Bring Me Horizon actually messaged Jay recently saying,
"Oh, really?
Love your book," and that's just so cool.
That is awesome.
I used to love Ollie Sykes, so that's wicked. Empire of the Damned is going to be, you just know it's going to be at the top of the fantasy list, isn't it? And I can't wait to read it. I mean, Jay Kristoff's writing is like, he sits down and he thinks, right, today I'm going to write, some of the most iconic dialogue, iconic scenes I can even come up with, and his imagination is blistering. It's just insane,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Whoa. You must be like the Weasleys.
Hand-me-down robes. You must be the Weasleys.
Next up, we've got Ed's just dropping all the books.
I'm so sorry. Why do I do this?
Every time. Ed, do you know...
I mean, I think if I do it one more time, it's going to be body found floating by the docks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't mean to be harsher, but you just put one book on top of the other. I just saw you put it there, and then I saw you push it, and I was like...
You've got to stop oiling your books, okay?
I look after them too well.
Yes.
Next up, I've got Blood Over Brighthaven, which is...
We have Blood Over Brighthaven.
Sorry.
Very much.
I do apologise.
I said to put it on the list.
I'm sorry. So the author of Sword of Kaigan, which you've got a review also up on the channel, we both loved it.
Yeah.
And then I've seen a lot of love over on Chris and Mads's channel, Blood Over Brighthaven. And so it's a different genre. Well, it's still fantasy, but a different subgenre. It's dark academia. And... I just cannot wait. Sword of Kaigan hooked me, even though it's different characters. So much of the strength was in the writing and in the quality of kind of every single aspect of storytelling. So I'm just going to read anything that she writes.
Sword of Kaigan felt like she had put so much care into all areas of her writing, character work, action, plot. A lot of subtle work there as well, and seeing how she's done that, and then seeing that it wasn't, just lightning in a bottle once. The reaction to Blood Over Brighthaven is equally good to the Sword of Kaigan. It just hasn't quite been out for as long, of course, because it came out this year. That's why we're doing this video. But
is it being
very
picked up
excited
by? I think it's actually been picked up by a traditional publisher.
Really?
Which makes us think: is there going to be another instalment? I'm not sure.
Well,
usually they don't just pick up.
They wouldn't just pick up one. They would want at least
usually they
2
don't.
or
Maybe
3,
she might be an exception.
She might be,
still.
but publishers are publishers, and I think they'll want more. So that's really exciting. We love Emma Wong's writing, so
And then we've got Herald by Rob J. Hayes. So recently he's done something very fascinating. I'm really intrigued to see how it pays off. He's released 3 books, only like 2 or 3 weeks apart from each other. Well, 2 novellas and 1 full-length novel, which is Herald. And so they're all in the same world, but in different periods or different places in the world. And there's one called Annals of the God Eater. One is called...
That's the thing. You don't need to know what happens or anything that's about. It's called the God Eater Saga.
It's awesome, isn't it?
When I saw that name, I had tingles everywhere. Maybe not tingles is the right word. That would be a bit strange. Maybe my hair. That's it. Goosebumps. Thank you. Well, as people say, goose pimples. I don't like goose pimples.
Oh, I don't like that word.
I don't like that phrase. So goosebumps.
We'll move on from there.
But so Herald sounds great. God Eater sounds great. And Rob J. Hayes we love his writing. I particularly loved Never Die by him, which was a fantastic read.
And I've read his whole first series, which I've actually forgotten what that series was called.
Oh dear.
Interesting. But I've read 6.
But we know what God Eater's called.
We
do.
That's
the main
and
thing.
If we don't have time to fit in Herald, I'm sure I'll start with Deathless, one of the novellas, because that title just has me alone.
Yeah.
And then it will drag me into the series and allow me to justify it to myself. I'm not sure. I doubt it, with kind of how dark the worlds are probably going to be.
True.
But there we go, that's Herald. And now on to the last one that we're both talking about together, and that is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, the latest of her releases. Quite different from what we usually read on the channel, But you do find authors that just force you to kind of go outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Sally Rooney is one of them.
Yeah.
You've read all 3 of her previous books, haven't
Yes,
you?
yeah.
Yeah, and so have I. We've loved them. The one I didn't love was Conversations of Friends, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then I absolutely adored Normal People and Beautiful World, Where Are You? Intermezzo is said to be her most mature work, which I'm not sure how to approach that, because I think some people, a lot of critics have been quite snobby to her because it's like Normal People is like romance. And because it's so popular, often you find kind of the very highbrow critics like to look down on people. That's what I love about fantasy readers. Like, there's just no judgment.
No.
And I do also like that fantasy's garnering a lot more respect. But anyway, that's a whole different video.
Yes, it is.
On its own. Back to Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I read 20 pages whilst Mama and Papa Gwyn were driving me up to Durham. Absolutely loved it, and then forced to put it to the side whilst I've had to read other things. But
I'm very keen to read it.
It was a great opening 20 pages.
And it's about 2 brothers suffering with grief, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it feels a bit on the nose.
Yeah, so it's one that you have to wait for the right moment to read, isn't it? But it'll be interesting that I think there's romance in it, but it'll be her first book where the romance isn't between kind of the 2 main characters.
Sure, that makes sense.
It's a familial relationship instead, which is an interesting kind of
dynamic to play with.
Yeah, an interesting direction she's going in, kind of expanding her writing.
But we love her writing, so I'm very, very excited.
And I think Jack Edwards said that she's like his favourite author. Yeah. But he's not read Intermezzo yet either, because he said, as we said, you've got to be in the right frame of mind for a Sally Rooney book.
Yes.
And so, there we go. They are the books that we're both going to read that are released in 2024.
Yeah.
Now, on to, we're going different directions, Ed.
We're splitting.
Do you want to
Making like a banana.
So we've got 2 each, totaling 4. I can do some maths. Do you want to talk about your first one?
So the next one is Trials of Empire. Do you have a copy of Trials of Empire, Will?
Oh. You know I do.
And this is book 3 of Richard Swan's trilogy, which is Empire of the Wolf. Really love the first 2 books. They're brilliantly written. Great fantasy. And I'm excited to see how book 3 plays out. So I've heard really good things about the ending to this trilogy as well. And I just know that Richard Swan is a very talented, very good writer. I'm very looking forward to his next series as well, which I've seen the cover of. It's absolutely brilliant, and it looks really, really cool. And he said one of the main inspirations was Last Mohicans.
Really?
So I think that's coming out hopefully next year. If it has a cover, should be next year, shouldn't
That's
it?
awesome.
So, but yeah, no, definitely going to read this before the next one comes out. And Trials of Empire is on the list.
Very nice, Ed. And then the first one I've got is The Silver Blood Promise by James Logan. It is actually shameful I've not read this yet.
It is.
It is so wrong, but we saw James Logan at a chat with Papa Gwyn. He is actually Papa Gwyn's editor under James Long.
Orbit,
at Orbit. But this is his rightly name, James Logan. The Silver Blood Promise is meant to be kind of a really like ball of fun, really, but it's got depth and immersion into the world and characters as well.
Yeah.
The setting is kind of within this sprawling city, isn't it?
Yeah.
And is it a heist?
It is a heist. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely Gentleman Bastards-esque.
Yeah. So you wouldn't say it's a heist book, but a heist plays into it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Very nice. And
some lovable rogues.
And you said that the prose is really nice, just fluid.
Yeah,
just
action written
really nice to get
really
through.
well. So I like the character work as well. The dialogue was great. So no, I think it's a really, really solid read. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he does next in the next book.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that already, and I've not even read book 1, but that is The Silver Blood Promise.
Wow, well, that's smooth.
Yeah, I should. Do you know what? We should actually take a course on learning to do tricks, just
book tricks.
Spiraling the books around our fingers as we're talking.
You can do that on the William Gwyn channel.
I'm going to do it and not tell you that I've done it, and then just one video.
The
oh my word, you did it! But I'm just not going to mention it to you, and then suddenly just going to come out.
Like you're like a cocktail maker, but you're doing it with.
Oh
boats.
yeah.
I'm just going to sprinkle some Richard Swan in there. And the next one for me is Butter by Asano Yuzuki, I believe. I haven't actually got the book here with me, so I think in the fridge, so it hasn't been opened yet. Yeah. But all I know is that this is a cult classic from Japan, which is about a chef who takes part in a murder.
Okay.
I think that's what happens.
What genre is it? I know murder is...
I would say fiction. I think it's just downright plain fiction, really. But it's got a yellow cover, Will.
Oh,
so...
You're a sucker for a yellow cover.
Thank you. I'm going to read it if it has a yellow cover.
Exactly. So yellow books
they just did a reprint and they did it. It's got a gold cover.
Whoa.
Now. which I'm not sure how I feel about. I think yellow's
Betraying
much
the yellow.
nicer. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of yellow but up-leveled, isn't it? To
Yeah.
gold. They should have gone for bronze, I think.
This is a strange conversation, isn't it?
But Butter is, like I said, it's a cult classic. I don't know too much about it, but I have heard that when you read it, your life will never be the same.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's got a picture of the cow on the front, and we love cows.
We do love cows. I didn't expect you to go from change your life to there's a cow on the
Yeah.
front. Next out and last of the video is Warlords of Weirdwood by R.J. Barker. I enjoy Gods of the Weirdwood, book 1 of this series, so much. It's so strange and random. There's some incredible fun guy. And RJ's a fun guy in person.
Oh, dear.
I thought of it on the spot. I didn't invent it. I just had to
You
go
did
with
not
it.
leave mushroom
You
for
know-
anything else.
Oh, Ed.
My
We
man.
are definitely brothers, aren't we?
Yeah.
With the awful jokes. But yeah, Warlords of Weirdwood, it is a chunker as well, but I really flew through book 1. Kahan is a great central figure, and it was interesting. I had the honour of moderating the chat between Papa Gwyn and RJ Barker,
Yeah.
and asked him about kind of why this like attraction to a character who's got a hidden past and they have to confront it. Because Papa Gwyn in the Bloodsworn has a similar character with that. Well, not similar character, but similar trope. And I love how they go in different directions. And trope is not a dirty word, it's about what you do with it. And this is really unique and original as well as being inspired by tropes. Nature is like a character in itself.
Yeah.
And I just love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it when that
and it went in
comes
very
out.
different directions. There was an event which I thought the book was going to end on. And it's like 250 pages before the end. I was like, what? What is going on? And that just shows a confidence to kind of not just play into the normal beats. And I've really respected that, and it pays off, and I cannot wait to read this. I'm actually part way through, so I'm cheating a bit. So at least
That's good
when we
though,
return and look back on this video,
You should
I
definitely would
know,
have read this one.
I know at least
Yeah.
I've partially
Yes.
succeeded.
Very
So
nice.
there we go, that's the last of the video. And they are the books
What a
for
list,
20,
Will.
24
What a
release.
list of books we have still on the TBR
Yeah,
to
what
go.
a year 2024
Yeah.
has been. At the end of the year, we'll talk about our favourite releases of 2024 because there's many that we've loved already.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of these we'll have got through by the end of December. So we look forward to talking about that. It's always amazing kind of looking back at classics and books and titans of genres that people have loved.
Yeah.
But equally, I love that kind of buzz when a book is released and everyone jumping on it and loving it and just spreading the love, Ed. And so I cannot wait to join those ranks with some of these books. But everyone, please let us know some of the 2024 releases you need to read, and let us know the ones that you've read already.
Let us know what you think we should be reading. Have we missed any on the
Have we
list
missed any big ones?
that we've been foolish
probably have.
over?
We probably have.
Oh, we've read them.
Because we're very
Okay.
tired.
We are very tired.
And we made this list quite quickly, didn't we? So
We did.
Please forgive us if we've made any glaring
I think
errors.
it's a good list though. But
It is a good
thank
list.
you everyone for watching. Hope to see you in the comments below or chat to us on our Discord channel. Truth and Courage,
The Brothers Gwyn.
the Brothers Gwyn.